Hello everyone, I am Manish and currently pursuing second year MBBS at AIIMS New Delhi. So I am here to share how I prepared for NEET in last 1 month. So basically, by this time, like all your 3 day tests will be done and you will have covered the entire syllabus. And now it's time for your full syllabus test, right? So what many people will have this doubt in their mind, whether I have to practice MCQs more or I have to read theory more. So I say what I had done. So basically, once all these 3 day tests got completed, I just spent 4 5 days entirely on theory. Like I used to solve minimum amount of MCQs so that I would be very thorough with the theory. And during these 4 5 days, you have to compare and study. Like you have to compare bulk energy power with electricity one chapter. In that way, you have to compare and study. Like you have to compare physics and chemistry or thermodynamics, see what is different between them. So in 4 to 5 days, you have to be very thorough with the theory, and like you have to practice basically minimum number of pencils. That's more than enough. And once these 5 days are done, like you can practice as many inches as you want. And let me talk subject wise. So basically, as far as bio is concerned, like questions can be asked from any corner of the internet, right? So rather than solving MCQs, what I used to do is that I used to revise NCERT again and again, including diagrams. Like even in my exam, our diagram-based question was asked from evolution chapter, and I was a bit confused because I thought diagram-based questions are not being asked. So I ignored those in the later part of my preparation, but ultimately it came up. So be thorough with NCERT, that's more than sufficient for bio. Next, as far as physics is concerned, like as I told earlier, 5 days theory wala days hota hai na. Like in those days, I mainly went through my classmates, and the same thing. I compared and studied. Like I compared energy wala chapter with electricity wala chapter. In that way, I compared and studied, and in those 5 days, I became very thorough with the theory, and I did not solve much of MCQs. And once those 5 days were done, I still had 25 to 27 days left with me. And in those days, I used to take up, random question papers, full syllabus tests from different institutes, and I used to solve physics and institutes. So this is the approach which I use, and I think it would help most of you as well. But spend at least 5 to 6 days on theory, that is revising whatever illustrations, whatever cases which has been taught to me, so that you won't forget it. And one more thing is that like people tend to ignore solids, fluids for our chapters because they are not interesting. But when the exam is nearby, you should focus on those chapters too, because from those chapters, many questions will be asked. So be thorough with those chapters which you haven't practiced a lot before. This is for physics. Next, as far as chemistry is concerned, inorganic, I use the same approach as bio. Physical, I use the same approach as physics. And as far as organic is concerned, see, you'll be having 4 5 chapters, important chapters in organic, like alcohols, aldehydes, acid, carboxylic acids, hydrocarbons. उन सबका like whatever reactions are there, I used to make it as a table. Reactants, reagents, and products. And if name of the reaction was known, I used to write it above, and I used to go through that table once in 3 days. Because final week mein, you'll have questions like questions linking 2 or 3 different chapters, like meaning alcohols, aldehydes, and carboxylic acids. And for you to be able to answer those questions, you should be very, very thorough with the reactions. So make a table and go through that table again and again. This is subject-wise approach. And what to do a day before NEET exam? That many of you might be thinking. See, a day before NEET exam, what I did was that conceptual stuff you would have studied throughout, so you'll be able to recall it during exam. But there are certain things which are memory related. Say examples in plant kingdom, examples in animal kingdom, fluid या solid वाला formula in physics, and organic reactions in chemistry, inorganic reactions in chemistry, physical chemistry formulae. Like I had made a note of it while studying for my weekly test, and I just went through that compendium before my NEET exam. So basically, a day before the NEET exam is entirely for memory related stuff, because you'll be able to recall the concepts during your NEET exam. But if you don't revise those memory related stuff, you won't be able to recall it during the exam. So this is the thing which I had done a day before exam. Next, what do I need to do? Basically, a NEET exam starts from 2 and it will be till 5:20, I guess. So and you have to enter the exam hall at 11. Like even you can enter till 1, but people will ask you to enter it at 11 itself. And if you want to enter 11, definitely the buses will start leaving at 8. So basically, you won't get time to revise during the day of exam. So whatever revision you are supposed to make, you are planning to make, you are supposed to make it on the day before exam. And during exam, one thing, your utmost priority is that you have to maintain your calmness, because NEET exam will be very easy as compared to your expert exam, but the thing is, you'll be very stressed, and since you'll be very stressed, you'll commit simple mistakes. So in order to make that, suppose if you are thorough with a particular chapter, don't discuss the chapter with anyone once you enter the exam now, because you'll have your own way of remembering things. So when you discuss with other people, like whatever you have made up to remember those things, that will get disappear. So you'll get confused a lot. So whichever chapters which you are through with, don't discuss it with your friends or with others. But there will be certain chapters which you might not have studied well. Say in my case, I hadn't studied chemistry or like chemistry in everyday life or a chapter, and I was damn sure who say like from that at least one question will come. And I discussed that chapter with my friends just before NEET exam, and they come share their mnemonics, whatever they had made with me, and that helped me during the NEET exam. Like one question had come up from chemistry in everyday life, which I was able to answer. Basically, if you are not at all good at a particular chapter, only then discuss it with your friends, and that way if they are okay with it. If not, just don't think about it. Keep your calm during exam, and your exam will be from 2 to 5:20. But in some cases, the question paper may not reach you by, like I received my question paper around 2:05. Like even if you receive a 2:05, nothing to worry. And once you receive the question paper, you'll be asked to fill your roll number, name in question paper as well as answer sheet. But basically in question paper, you need not fill your entire name, address and all. You can just fill your roll number, whereas in answer sheet, fill your roll number and name. Like give attention to it while doing it, because if you mess it up, then you'll once again lose your calmness and your exam will be very difficult later on. This is one thing. And once the exam starts, one request to you guys is that please at least spare 15 minutes for mine. Like bio paper can either be difficult or easy, but it will definitely be lengthy. Like in my case, many of my friends, like they thought they were weak at physics and chemistry, so they tried to complete bio fast. But the thing is, during this process, they committed very simple mistakes in bio, whereas physics and chemistry paper was easy in our time. So they were left with 1 hour, but they could not do anything because they had already marked the value. So at least spare 15 minutes for value and read the questions attentively, because most of the people commit simple mistakes in bio itself. They'll skip keywords in the questions, or they won't read the options carefully. So read the questions carefully and spend 15 minutes for bio. Next, as far as chemistry is concerned, I won't say anything. You'll have your own way of dealing chemistry. Like some people would have assigned 1 hour, some people would have assigned 15 minutes. Like follow the same. But suppose if you have assigned 15 minutes for chemistry and that 15 minutes is up, then stop. Suppose you have solved 35 questions, just leave chemistry paper wherever it is. Just mark those 37 questions in OMR and move on to physics. So basically, the thought process is that if you are not able to complete chemistry in the time which you thought of, that means chemistry paper is difficult. If chemistry paper is difficult, it is likely that physics paper will be easy, right? So whatever you have solved till there, just mark those questions and move on to physics. You will definitely find that physics paper will be easy. Complete your physics paper and then come back to chemistry and then solve the remaining questions. By doing this, you won't miss out that easy part. If physics, if it is easy, and if you spend most of your time on chemistry, you will just miss out easy questions. Main aim during the exam is that you should not commit simple mistakes. You should not miss out easy questions. So follow this approach. And last thing is that, like in bio, what I used to do is that once you read a question, spend 2-3 seconds in thinking about the answer and then look at the options. Because I remember that during my weekly test, once I read a question, I directly used to read the options. And even when you read the options, you will find out that 2-3 options will be related to the question. So you will get confused. Like you will read the first option, thinking that since it will be related to the question, you will just end up marking it. So once you read a question in bio, spend 2 to 3 seconds, think about the answer, and then transfer that answer in the option and then mark. So basically, this is the approach which I follow, and my only suggestion is that don't commit simple mistakes, be attentive, and don't miss out easy questions on a day of the exam. So this is all from my side, and I'm looking forward to see you guys in Delhi as well. All the best for your day.